Have you ever wondered why some women will treat a man like a king 1 minute, only to completely lose interest and move on to the next guy once they realize he's not rolling in dough? If you think looks or personality are what matters most to these women, you are utterly delusional. There are plenty of good-looking guys out there who can't get a single date, and there are charming, charismatic men constantly being used by women only interested in accessing their money like leeches. So what is the real driving force behind this phenomenon? The answer is simple. Some women are ruthless gold diggers, fixated on extracting as much material wealth from men as possible. The truth is that the majority of men are pushovers, completely unaware of the tricks gold diggers use to exploit them. But there is an elite minority of men with ice in their veins who know exactly how to smell a gold digger from a mile away. These supreme gentlemen are the ultimate deterrent to shameless gender cons. You see, gold diggers possess insatiable hunger for resources and provision without having to offer anything of substance in return. But once you remove the attention and validation they so desperately crave, you immediately become an impenetrable bulwark against their schemes. However, you can't just start ignoring women haphazardly. There is a precise psychology to applying radio silence at the optimal moments to obliterate a gold digger's disturbing agenda. By the end of this guide, you'll know exactly how to weaponize neglect and preserve your sovereignty. We will examine 10 undeniable signs that unveil a gold digger's true colors so you can neutralize her hunt for a wallet on legs. Commit these to memory and you'll never be fooled again. Sign 1. She's obsessed with materialism. From the brands she name drops to the glamorous lifestyle she relentlessly flaunts on social media, this woman's entire existence screams luxury at deafening volumes. Designer everything from apparel to accessories, even down to pet toys and strollers. Her persona is carefully manufactured to boast opulence. To the gold digger, material possessions are paramount. She believes ownership of premium products single-handedly defines her self-worth. This creates an insatiable appetite to endlessly acquire more and more lavish items, regardless of whether she can actually afford them herself. And how does she intend to fund this frivolously excessive lifestyle? By attaching herself to a man with a sizable disposable income, who she can relentlessly drain both financially and emotionally. Steer clear of this high-maintenance leech. Sign 2. She chronically strawmans about equality. The gold digger is a nefarious hypocrite who wants to selfishly extract all the benefits of traditional gender roles while repudiating any of the accompanying responsibilities. To obscure her zest for feeding off male largesse, she'll constantly unleash diatribes about equality, this and gender norms, that, performatively signaling faux virtues of progressivism and independence, lets her gaslight you into overlooking the reality of her reprehensible undertaking. Bleeding, hardworking men dry with no remorse. Any self-respecting egalitarian would be appalled by her mentality of perpetually taking while giving back nothing of value. Don't fall for these hollow straw man arguments. They are simply a manipulative smokescreen concealing her gluttonous crusade to extract your hard-earned resources without any reciprocal contribution. Her words and actions could not be more diametrically opposed. Sign 3. She expects expensive dates and gifts. From the very first date, a gold digger will insist on being lavishly wined and dined at the trendiest high-end establishments. Reasonably priced dates will instantly prompt exhibitions of disdain and disgust from this highfalutin femme. A shrewd gold digger understands that setting the precedent of profligate spending habits early greases the slippery slope to increasingly burdensome financial impositions down the road. If astronomical restaurant bills weren't enough, she'll also ardently angle for boutique shopping excursions and opulent gift-giving rituals on a regular basis. Her mindset is one of extracting every penny she possibly can from her sponsorship prospect's bank account. Unashamedly, she will demand these ridiculously disproportionate expenditures, not as benign requests, but as masculine rights of obligation, positioning it as your dutiful responsibility to spoil and pamper her royally at all times. Avoid this parasite's burdensome siphoning at all costs. Sign 4. She frequently laments about struggles. For someone who flagrantly splurges with reckless abandon, a gold digger will paradoxically never stop regaling you with hard luck tales about her financial struggles. From student loans and medical bills to exorbitant shopping addictions, she always has some new self-inflicted burden to moan about. Her constant droning about being perpetually indigent and penniless is intentionally designed to exhaust your empathy reserves and streamline her extraction efforts. After enough exposure to her calculated pity narratives, you'll subconsciously felt obligated to periodically open your wallet simply to placate her trumped-up grievances. In reality, she's likely hemorrhaging cash on superfluous luxuries she can't actually afford herself, which is why she so desperately needs to mooch off a responsible provider's assets. Any tweaks of compassion you feel from her tall tales are simply premeditated devices to shake you down financially. Sign 5. She evaluates men by income or status. Unlike secure, self-assured women who evaluate romantic potentials based on authentic qualities like personality, values, and compatible lifestyles, a shallow gold digger primarily bases her interest in a man around crassly materialistic criteria, namely his income, status, and net worth. To her, love and commitment is completely transactional. She seeks nothing deeper than explicit economic utility from her male targets. She will swiftly audition any interested prospects by invasively prying into their career, assets, and family wealth as a rigid screening checklist. If a man doesn't check all of her obligatory status boxes for ideal income amounts, prestigious job titles, and physical belonging markers, he'll immediately be disqualified as an unsuitable sponsor candidate. She simply cannot feign attraction for anyone failing to clear her rigid material thresholds. Sign 6. She's clueless about money. Bizarrely, for someone so fixated on incessantly acquiring cash and prized possessions, the average gold digger is completely financially illiterate and bereft of any money management skills whatsoever. To her, the chore of actually earning, budgeting, and responsibly administering funds is an inscrutable foreign language. You'll be dumbfounded by her profound lack of comprehension about even the most elementary financial concepts. Credit cards, loans, taxes, insurance, investment vehicles. She doesn't understand any of it. These are all puzzling abstractions outside of her precipitous reality. This stunning deficit in fiscal literacy exists because female parasites like her have been conditioned to find wealthy host organisms to leech off of for sustenance rather than cultivate self-sufficiency. To her, racking up debt on endless retail binges is perfectly acceptable because she's already extracted ample sponsorship to deficit spend. Sign 7. She's incredibly entitled. Gold diggers suffer from delusional superiority complexes and believe the world should endlessly indulge their every whim. Their preposterous sense of elitism and grandiose lifestyle expectations are the direct byproduct of manipulatively extracting resources without conscience or rationality. She expects to be prioritized at the front of every line and accommodated with lavish VIP treatment at the slightest hint of dissatisfaction. Rules, protocols, fees, or any other reasonable standards of conduct are simply petty formalities that shouldn't apply to a self-important princess like her. This warped philosophy of obnoxious entitlement also extends to the men she openly objectifies as resource repositories. She believes being a gold digger gives her undisputed carte blanche to incessantly make ludicrous imposition after imposition on her hapless benefactors without so much as a tinge of humility or gratefulness. Sign 8. She plays stupid games. The cunning gold digger is a masterful psychological manipulator who employs a myriad of mind games to ensnare and condition her prey. From strategic hot-cold vacillation to manufactured drama inciting jealousy relapses, her tactics run the full breadth of emotional sabotage. She might affectionately love-bomb you with adulation one minute, only to disregard your existence the next. This capricious hot and cold behavior is designed to obliterate your emotional anchors and make you desperately invest more effort into regaining her fleeting approval. She'll also manufacture artificial melodramas over inconsequential trivialities, like having inconsequential glances at other women in order to incite jealousy spasms. Her goal is to erode your self-esteem to psychological insecurity, where you feel unworthy of leaving such an ostensibly high-value woman. Perhaps most nefariously, she'll frequently tease future commitment to you by daydreaming about marriage and families, only to abruptly shift towards distant unresponsiveness the moment you start showing reciprocal relationship investment. This carrot-and-stick routine keeps you perpetually teeter-tottered in unbalanced limbo. Sign 9. She has antiquated gender roles. Despite her cacophonous identity politics bravado, the gold digger harbors transparently traditionalist views when it benefits her agenda of gaining access to male provisions without independence. She brazenly reinforces antiquated gender stereotypes of male utility and servitude if it greenlights her extraction of your resources. Out of one mouth, she'll screech about masculinity being fatally toxic, only to spin contradictory tales from the other end about men needing to unconditionally pay her way and finance her lifestyle as some obligatory code. She pathologically paints herself as a simultaneously staunch feminist railing against patriarchy, yet will still demand you adhere to prototypical masculine programmer duties like systematically initiating dates, willfully funding activities, and proactively driving courtship formalities. This rank hypocrisy allows her to flagrantly violate the very principles she virtue signals about for mainstream social clout. But the moment tradition benefits her predation, all progressive pretense is discarded. Sign 10. She jokingly demeans your finances. If you ever catch a gold digger overtly mocking, deriding, or demeaning aspects of your income, employment, fiscal habits, or overall economic stature, consider it a clear clarion warning that she's already classified you as an inadequate provisioning prospect in her crosshairs. Initially, these calculated insults may be cloaked with a facetious veneer of superficial playfulness or sarcasm. Just joking around, can't you take a joke? She'll deflect if you call out her contemptuous broadsides. But make no mistake, these barbs are methodical gambits intended to erode your self-confidence as a financially suboptimal candidate, undeserving of her bargain-hunting courtship. Her end goal is to feverishly prompt dietary in your earnings and monetary self-image until you prove more profitable to extract from. These open displays of disgust towards your modest monetary circumstances signifies she's already articulated actionable disqualifications. In her mind, you failed her sponsor evaluation and are now strictly downgraded to intermittent entertainment prospect at best. Cut her off before her contempt devolves into further disrespect. So there you have it, 10 unmistakable indicators that a woman is an avaricious succubus hoping to drain you for every penny you're worth. Commit these signs to memory, and you'll effortlessly vet prospective financial predators from a mile away. Now let us know what you think in the comment section below. For more interesting topics, make sure you watch the recommended video that you see on the screen right now. Thanks for watching.